Hi, everyone, and welcome to Santa's Repair Shop. This is Yvonne today, and I am going to demonstrate our aluminum Christmas tree color wheel. This one in particular is a penetrate motorized color wheel. And for those of you who are as old as me, you will know that these were typically manufactured in during the 1960s, maybe late 50s, for what we call aluminum Christmas trees, which were very pretty and are considered a very retro item today and are very popular and beautiful. And you can buy those on Etsy or on Amazon. And this color wheel here is what to use to reflect light on the tree. And since it's made of aluminum, it gives you kind of like a nice rainbow color effect. But they don't make these anymore. The ones that they sell now on the market, in my opinion, they're made, for lack of a better word, cheap. And it's a very light plastic, and they don't have that vintage retro look that goes hand in hand with having the aluminum Christmas tree. So when you could find one of these beauties for sale on eBay or Amazon, and you have an aluminum Christmas tree that you can use with it, or purchase one as well, these are great addition to your aluminum Christmas tree for a very retro Christmas or mid-century modern Christmas. Now, uh, the ones that you do find online, again, because these were manufactured late 50s, 60s, they usually come with the original motor. The issue with that, and why I believe ours are better suited for people to consider buying, is because the motors, think about it, they've been on there since late 50s, 60s. They're 60 years old. So usually what happens is there's a few things that happen. You might have a motor that has a grinding sound, a whirring sound, and that's usually an indicator that it's at its end of its life cycle. And another thing that might happen is that you have a motor where you have to kind of nudge it, it kind of hesitates before it starts to spin. That also is another indicator that the motor is about to go. And then another thing that occurs with these motors is that they work intermittently or sporadically. They'll spin and kind of hesitate, jiggle a little bit, and spin again. And that again means that the motor is about to conk out. So you invest a hundred plus dollars in it, and you find yourself at the end of the first season or second with a color wheel that is no longer working after you have spent a significant amount of money to purchase one. So ours are a little bit more higher in price. I wouldn't say that much more, but yes, they are a little higher in price. But you have the satisfaction of knowing that you have a wheel where the motor has been replaced, and in some instances, some rewiring has to be done, or the socket has to be replaced, or the color lenses have to be UV bonded, because these lenses are not made any longer. Again, the ones that are being sold are not of the same quality. So if you can find them in pristine condition, it's great. But a lot of times they'll have cracks and holes and missing pieces, and I'll get into that later on why that happens. So I will bond them and try my best to repair them and sell them with the color wheel. So today I wanted to show off some of my husband's handiwork and also advertise for our business. We also can restore your broken color wheel. So just email us and write us a message here on this YouTube, and we'll be happy to give you a price on that. So we will restore your color wheel. And if you have a color wheel that needs a new home, we can make you an offer on it as well. So let me go ahead and, as I said before, show off my husband's handiwork. Again, here we have a penetrate color wheel. Very nice. I'll give it a turn here so you can see. This one happens to be in really nice condition. It's on sale now in Etsy. And let's turn it around here. You can see the body there's no rust. Some of the things that we have to do is when they come in with rust is that we have to sand it off and try to match the color up and restore it there. And there you go again. But this one was really well taken care of. So I'm going to plug it in now so you can get some idea of what it looks like. Let me put it sideways because that's much better to look at. And forgive me, I'm not really good at making videos, so this is an amateurish video, but I think you'll get the general gist of it. All right, let's plug it in. All right, and there you go. Now, why do you, again, want to purchase one of our wheels? Because as you can hear, and I'll keep quiet for a minute, there is no sound coming from the motor as opposed to that grinding sound, and you'll also see that it's running very smoothly. We also guarantee our motors from 2 years from the date of purchase, but as my husband likes to say, that once these motors are replaced, they will outlive us. They will last a lifetime, so, or at least 50 years. So there you have the tree, or rather the color wheel. Whoops, sorry for those lines. All right, so now let's turn that off and let's disassemble it so you can see the color wheel a little better. Can you unplug that for me? Thank you. I need some assistance here. Okay, so now that we have that unplugged, we're going to, take it apart. So we start off by removing the little nut here, and I'm going to try to do this with one hand. And that's what happens when you do it with one hand. But you have the star. Sometimes you can't get the star, so you'll just get the little washer nut. But sometimes you can't find the star. And then we are going to remove the color lenses. Now these color lenses are put together with these clips here, and I mentioned earlier that I was going to speak about them a little bit more, and I think this is important. A lot of these lenses that you get out there on the market, they're cracked, they're broken, it's really, they're in bad condition, and that's mostly because these clips over time, people will squeeze them tight, then it's very difficult to pull them off, and these plastic lenses are very fragile, so if you yank them off, you tend to break the edge here, and then it's no longer usable. What we recommend is that if you can put the color lens away like this and not remove the brackets from season to season, that would be ideal. But if you have to, or you find yourself that you must have it taken apart, then you need to find brackets that are easy to remove, that'll come right off. And I am having a hard time showing you that with my left hand since I'm right-handed. Let's see if I can do it. Well, I don't want to take a chance because usually you put one hand down here and then you slowly take the clip off, and I don't want to break this because these are very hard to find. So that is one of the key things with the color lenses. They are extremely fragile, so you need to be very careful when removing the clips. Now let's move on to the lamp. Our lamps do come with a light bulb. These light bulbs, I think they're much better than the Penetrate, the original bulb, because they're warm, and with the Penetrate bulbs, they tend to melt the lens because they get super hot, and these stay pretty warm, and because they're made of like a very hard plastic. They don't shatter, whereas the penetrate incandescent bulb is made of glass. The other thing that my husband noticed about the way these color wheels were made back in the 60s, the shaft that you see here was made shorter, and therefore the lens was closer to the bulb. And you'll see that I even have a few, one or two that I might be selling, where the lens has melted because it has come in contact with the heat of the bulb. So when my husband modifies this in his machine shop, what he does is he lengthens the shaft so that it's further away from the bulb, and you have the lesser chance of having that lens melt down. So again, as I mentioned, he does this in his machine shop. The bulb, the motor is replaced and bolted down, and this is what it looks like. And there's our little label with our email address. I'll get up front so you can see Santa's Repair Shop. And rewired. Sometimes it's rewired, and it will last. As I said before, it will outlast you. But if you have one, or you purchase one with a motor that's 50 or 60 years old, chances are that that's probably going to, or is reaching the end of its life cycle. So we do restorations. So just wanted to have those interested buyers out there see what goes into our restoration. See if I can get this off with one hand so you can see the inside. That would help. Lucky thing it's not a penetrate bowl. So there you go. See the rewiring. So hope this helps, and visit us on eBay. My user ID is YZ, like the last two letters of the alphabet, HEP as in Papa, and you'll find our aluminum Christmas tree color wheels there. They go fast, so if you're needing one for this season, make sure you get on board. And if not, I'm also selling on Etsy, so I'm under the same user ID in Etsy. Thanks for looking. Happy holidays.